Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lake Show blog. I am your host Chris Camello. The Lakers recently fired their head coach Mike Brown after a pitiful 1-4 start, and after many thought Phil Jackson would take over this 2013 Laker team, they turned out to stun everybody, including their new head coach himself, Mike D'Antoni. And to help me break down the hiring of Mike D'Antoni, I'm here with lifelong Laker fan Lon Stouts. Lon, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your radio show.
All right, Lon. Well, you've obviously been not just a Lakers fan for all your life. You've also been a basketball fan as well. Tell me how much you know about Mike D'Antoni and what you like or dislike about him.
I'm a real fan of Mike D'Antoni's high-powered offense system. I think he's going to bring in a lot of enthusiasm and energy to this Laker team that was lacking highly under the former coach of Michael Brown.
Now, D'Antoni is obviously best known for his years in Phoenix. 4 years, he won 4 Pacific Division titles. Never went to an NBA Finals, but went to a lot of conference championships, unfortunately just to lose to the Spurs. He coached Steve Nash. Do you think Steve Nash was a big part in hiring Mike D'Antoni?
I think the Lakers probably felt that D'Antoni was the best coach available, considering that he had Steve Nash and they had a lot of success. They probably turned to him and just realized that he was probably going to be better equipped with this organization, this team at this point, over someone like, let's say, Phil Jackson or like a Larry Brown or Sam Mitchell.
Very interesting stuff. Now, many in Lakerland, including myself, and I'm sure you told me that you expected Phil Jackson to be back on the Lakers sideline for his 3rd stint with the team. Do you think D'Antoni is a better fit than Phil Jackson?
At this point with this team, I think that they needed to jumpstart their offense, and with a point guard like Steve Nash, I do think that he's better under a coach such as D'Antoni. Rather than Phil. Phil, of course, likes big guards that just pretty much facilitate just a little bit on the wings. Steve Nash is a pick and roll guy and a pick and pop and a fast break guy. A lot of stuff that Phil Jackson really isn't accustomed to as much. So to use Steve Nash at his full potential, I think that he wants to have a guy like, he's more comfortable having a guy like Mike D'Antoni. And the rest of the team, I think, is just going to be benefiting from that.
Now, many feel D'Antoni is strictly an offensive coach, that he never coached defense, he doesn't like defense. There was that whole 7 seconds or less book that Jack McCallum came out with. Would you say that those assumptions about D'Antoni are true, or do you really think that he carries some defensive principles? He just has never had the personnel.
I think that he's never had the proper defensive players on the team. This should be interesting this year because clearly the Lakers have 3 monster defenders, Kobe, Meta, and Dwight, and mixing those guys in with Pau Gasol, who's already a champion, and Steve Nash, who has really been thirsting for one. I think they're just going to play great team defense. And I know a lot of people are talking about quick guards and stuff like that, but I don't think that's going to be an issue coming through with the team defense that they're going to bring to the table.
So you're saying having the proper personnel is just as crucial in defense, just like instead of the principles?
I think definitely having the proper personnel is essential. You don't have to teach them how to play defense. You just have to get them together, and I think with all that offense, they're going to be wanting to play defense even more compared to when they were with Mike Brown and that stagnant offense. They didn't want to play any D and just started falling asleep on the court. I think one of the guys actually did yawn or was falling asleep on the bench or something.
Well, obviously they won't be falling asleep much now with Mike D'Antoni at the helm, and hopefully this could help them lead them to a championship. Do you really believe that they could win a championship?
I think that they can. This is going to be Mike D'Antoni's chance really right now to prove himself in this league as an elite coach, if he can do it and take this team over the top. So if there's ever going to be a chance to win a championship for Mike D'Antoni, I think this is the team, and he's very motivated.
Lon, thank you so much for helping me out.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Lake Show blog, everybody, with myself, Chris Camello, and Lon Stouts.
How you doing?